Welcome to RotoGrinders Today. I'm Jordan Cooper, a.k.a. BlenderHD. You're going to follow me on Twitter. And it's Thursday, October 31st. It's Halloween. Hello, Halloween, spooky time. Doesn't matter. We're not dressed up as costumes or anything, but we are going to go through some props and pick 'em for NFL Week 9. So hit that thumbs up button on your way in the door. Give me those tummy thumbs. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell to know when we go live. Join with me, since we're talking props, since we're talking pick 'em. It's Will Priester, it's Chief Justice. It's Coach. It's the Coach Priester. It's whatever. It's you're here, Will. And yeah, I mean, we got tons of games this weekend. We got lines that have, some of the lines didn't go up yesterday, so some more have come up today. And boy, do I see a lot of stuff that we could take on Prize Picks. I know you're in South Carolina, so you're more on the pick'em streets than on the prop streets. So I'll be sharing some props. You'll be sharing some pick'em stuff, and we'll be putting together a 6-pick card on Prize Picks and kind of going through where we think there's some value for NFL Week 9. Yeah, are you ready?
I'm ready to go, man. Ready to go.
And Chrome is working for me, so I should be able to bring up Prize Picks on Chrome, because sometimes it gets a little janky. And you can also see here on the Prize Picks screen, like there's extra numbers here that most people don't get on their Prize Picks screen. It shows this little logo. That's a RotoGrinders logo, and it shows a projection. This is part of our props and pick'em package, as well as Combo Premium. If you get Combo Premium, you get everything. But our props and pick'em package is just for props and pick'em. You get to use our statistical projections for every sport, and you could use them for props. You can use them for pick'em, and we make it easy for you because there's this little extension for Chrome and for Firefox that will overlay the updated whatever the current projections are for each player in that stat category, and you could actually just go through and go to different categories and see where the biggest discrepancies are between the numbers that are on Prize Picks as well as the ones that are on Underdog compared to our projections. But we also here at RotoGrinders have access to the Blitz, which is Derek Carty's projections. You get that as an add-on here. So I know, Will, you're a little bit more of an I know ball type of person. So you tend to massage things here and there based on your input. I'm strictly, the number says this, the number's good, I move, and then I'm done. I'm done. So between the two of us, hopefully we could come up with a 6-pick card. But typically, Will, I send it over to you.
And let me say this. I hope you can get your stuff in. I tried to get an NHL card in right before the show, and it's like a ghost entry, like it just didn't show up. So I don't know. I hope everything's okay, but hopefully we can get these things in there.
Well, normally I throw it over to you for the first one, but I felt compelled to do the first one myself.
Sure.
The number is not up on in the prop market yet. I don't see it up, but how do we not get? Maybe my eyes deceive me, Will. Maybe you can talk me off the ledge. Maybe I'm crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Downs. Okay, they took it off the board. Okay, so that's it. It comes up. Josh Downs was up on Prize Picks at 41.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, automatic over.
Right, and obviously, I think they took it. I mean, this must have been the past hour or whatever. Joe Flacco is quarterbacking the Colts offense. We can play pass catchers on the Colts again, right?
Yeah, I mean, Josh Downs obviously is number one. I'm interested to see in terms of. I know Pittman's kind of he's having a down year. I know part of that is injury. Part of that is his quarterback was Richardson. But I feel like the outlook of the Colts passing game should look a lot better moving forward. And I think another thing to look at too, but they're playing Minnesota, and we have to assume they're going to have to throw in this game some to keep up. And if they're going to win, they're definitely going to need to throw the ball. So I I'm assuming this stuff will come back up, later today, tomorrow. I think we got this news enough time for the books to make some adjustments. Like, I don't think Downs comes back at 41. I think it's probably more like 51, maybe even 54 and a half. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be higher for sure. So but the passing game, the outlook of the Colts passing game is definitely, significantly better.
Are you okay with the more than 228.5 Joe Flacco yards?
Yeah, here's why. But some of that is, I'm sure the projection's great on it. And when I say great, I'm saying it's probably pushing 240, 245, I would assume, because they're playing Minnesota. It's going to be in a dome. And you have to know the blitz is going to like the dome. It's going to like the fact they're playing Minnesota. Going to like the fact that they're going to have to throw the ball. So, I'm assuming that the projection's coming out much higher than that. But also, Blender, just outside of that, we know Joe Flacco's going to throw the football. He's going to throw the football as much as he possibly can to help them win this game. So I'm definitely going to be on the over on his passing yards for sure.
And as far as passing yard props, he did they're not up prop wise on the sports books. They're on Prize Picks. So that's always a good sign. I typically want to get the pick'em stuff on Prize Picks and before the actual sports books put it up, because a lot of times the pick'em sites don't have the best lines and they don't have anything to compare them to. But if we're going to take the 228.5 passing yards, the more here on Prize Picks, what else do you like? Instead of going passing, rushing, receiving, we're just looking for 6. So that it's not, we don't have to go in order like we've done in previous weeks. Just what are the 6 best ones? What are the 6 ones that we want to take this week?
Okay, so this is one I got from the RG sheet. So a lot of people don't know. I kind of start looking at the RG sheet Wednesday, Thursday, because usually that's when there's 1 or 2, Blender, huge discrepancies. And those
when you say RG sheet, what do you mean by that?
Sorry, I wasn't very specific. Listen, so we get in if you come in the prop shop, we call it the RG sheet, but it's basically our props and pick'em tool. And there's a collection of props on there from all sports. And you can filter it to NFL, MMA, college football. But when you pull it up, it's going to give you all sports initially. And that's pretty much everything. And these are the top edges in everything, right? So I want to, and I will say, that's a really good place to start if you're just kind of getting into props and pick them, and maybe you don't kind of have your own process. You can build cards. Now, sometimes you may have to stomach, playing from Thursday to Sunday, almost like an old school GPP slate for NFL Blender. But if you're fine doing that, like I am, you can get NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL. You can get stuff spread out over a couple of days.
Yeah, I'm throwing it on the screen now, Will. I'm showing the bottom of the table because I can't show. The premium people get to see the top of the table. At least showing you, and then here are all the NFL ones. And you can go right up to the top. I'm going to cut it off just so because this is too proprietary to show. You have to pay for this, right? You can go here. You can go to Sleeper, Prize Picks, Underdog, DK Pick 6, and you see college football, MMA, PGA, NBA, right? So I know it's not NHL, right?
Yeah.
I know we're not an NHL show, but I can go to Prize Picks NHL right now. And what's the top one? Maybe I'll give the top one that's here. Roman Yossi shots less than 3.5. Oh, the edge is only -1. Okay, so Prize Picks numbers are actually pretty good for NHL today. There's not many games well, there's enough games on a Thursday, but their numbers are pretty good. So I can show that. But this is part of the props and pick'em package that you could just simply set. You can download our statistical projections via CSV and just export it into whatever you want to use it for. But this is a good quick tool where you could just go to sport by sport and go through and go, based on, and it gets updated every 10 minutes from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily based on our statistical projections. So I just wanted to at least show you what the RG sheet, quote unquote, the RG sheet was, because people people that are subscribed, they go, "What the hell is the RG sheet? I'm a premium member. I don't know what this RG sheet is." No, it's the pick'em tool page.
Yeah, pick 'em tool. Props at pick 'em tool. But so I'm gonna give you one from there because I typically hunt that, like you said, but I hunt that early because here's why that's beneficial sometimes versus me just looking at the projections overlay. And I want to clear because clearly I'm using the projections overlay also, but on a Wednesday, Thursday, when projections are kind of just coming out, like you said, this thing updates. If you refresh, you said, oh, wait a minute, this thing's got a 25% edge. As an example, you want to be able to identify that quickly rather than trying to scroll through or compare to the blitz. It'll give it to you right away. So one of those. Now, Blender, here's the thing. In my head, in my heart, I don't agree with this, but in my head, I'm just going to trust that we're right because it's such a big edge here. The edge on this one is 16.94%, which is pretty good. And that's Jalen Hurts passing attempts. Now, he's at 27. We tend to think he's really going to be throwing it this week. And I know that Jacksonville can't stop anyone. So I'm not, but I'm going to side with our projections here. It's a big enough edge for me right now, Blender. Well, even if it comes down to 33, 32, like I'm still going to be feeling really good about that. So that's passing attempts, Jalen Hurts. That was one that, really popped on the sheet this week. So I'm definitely going to roll that one, even though I may not personally agree. I just think the gap is too wide for me to not plug that in.
Well, I'm kind of on board with you that really the Eagles have been one of the more run-heavy teams the past several weeks. And I'm not sure how much resistance the Jacksonville Jaguars are really going to give them.
Yeah.
But as a numbers person, we have our projections here, and to project the mean to be 35.4 and the number to be 27 is just like you said.
Yeah,
it's a big enough gap that even on pass completions, like the blitz is much lower on Hurts.
Yeah, the blitz is at 29 on Hurts for passing attempt, but once again, you start taking that as an aggregate. You say, well, that's 2. We're at what, it's 8 pretty much. Like, okay, that's why I said, but even if it came down to 32, like I'm still feeling fairly comfortable with that wide of a gap for me to take a shot, despite how I feel about this offense. And same thing for you, like they have been very run heavy.
Okay, so we got Hurts more than 27 pass attempts. What else you got? We still need 4 more.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give this one out, Blender, but we can't play it with Hurts. Maybe we can replace, but we can't play it. So here's the thing: if Hurts is gonna go over attempts, then to me that means one of AJ Brown or Devontae Smith should be catching passes. AJ Brown's at 5.5, Devontae Smith's at 4.5. In a situation like this, I'm just gonna split them and run them both. But I'm going to take both of those overs. But once again, Blender, remember, on Prize Picks, we cannot play them with Hurts passing attempts. We're going to get that reduced payout. But I'm handing those out because those are ones that I am extremely interested in. And then I've got one more in terms of passes. So I'm connecting those to Hurts, but I'm not playing them with Hurts because of how the sites, what we call nerf the payout. You're going to get a reduced payout playing them together. So listeners, just don't play them together, but I'm still giving them to you. AJ Brown, more than 5.5 receptions. Devontae Smith, more than 4.5 receptions. So yeah, that's that one. Now,
let me first let people know in the blitz, this is blitz approved on the 5.5 of the over 5.5 AJ Brown receptions. The blitz currently has the mean at 6.2 and the best line available right now. FanDuel doesn't even have a number up. Bet365 is over 5.5 at plus 100. So if you want to play plus 100 on over 5.5 AJ Brown receptions, go grab that. Go grab that now. Some of the offshore books have it at minus money, so that number will probably start moving to minus 110, minus 115 at some point in the next 2 or 3 days. Okay, so we're not going to play AJ Brown in this lineup because we're going to get a nerfed payout. So, what's the third one we're putting in here?
Okay, give me Drake London at 5.5 receptions. I want more than that projection also. This is a guy that has been a prime target for Kirk Cousins. We've seen that the Dallas Cowboys don't seem to be interested in playing great defense this year. Possibly part of that is personnel, I know, but I am thoroughly interested in that one. And I'm going to give you an alternate also, and you'll have to split these, and sometimes you have to do it that way. But I also like Drake London more than 67.5 receiving yards. So I'm playing both. But in terms of that game, I think that's actually one of my favorite games on the week so far, as long as the ownership doesn't get out of control. And give me London more than receptions and more than receiving yards.
Yeah, the receiving yards have moved since yesterday, so I prefer the receptions.
Yeah,
receptions, you could get over 5.5 minus 128 on FanDuel. And receiving yards, no, you could still get that at 63.5 minus 114 on FanDuel.
That's actually pretty good. That's actually really good for the week.
I mean, that's the best number in market because DraftKings has it at 66.5 minus 115. BetMGM has 66.5 minus 110. Bet365 has 66.5 and minus 110. So if you want this over at 63.5, I'd say to grab that as soon as you can. The Blitz has him at 89 mean yards. Of course, the Blitz loves Drake London. But this game, I'm assuming this game, I mean, for DFS purposes, is going to be pretty popular. So yeah, this is on the pick'em sites. It shows as a 21.7% edge compared to the Blitz. And the Blitz has, like, the RG projections have him at 6.4 receptions. The Blitz has him at 6.7 receptions. So yeah, I'm down with London more than 5.5 receptions. I already have both those props in my portfolio already.
Yeah, good. Okay,
what else you got for me, Will?
Okay, so this one, you know I love my rushing attempts, Blender. You know I don't know if
you know how much I love your rushing attempts. Last week, Will, I the most amount on Mixon over 17.5.
Oh man.
I thought I when I saw the line, I mean, I almost didn't have to. Did I even have to use projections to take the over on that? I didn't, but I did. I looked at the projections and there was a humongous edge anyway. But I mean, it's one of those things where you just look at and you go, I know I'm going to go over to the Blitz and it's going to be like a 1,000,000,000% edge because this is ludicrous. Yeah. They're going to run the ball like 25 to 30 times.
Yeah, I know. So here's the thing: if people are just box score watching, you never play this, okay? Because
I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, you probably already, because I mean, if you're box score watching, like, get ready to throw up here. But at some point, Kenneth Walker's going to go back to getting massive workload. And I mean, the projections on him this week are really good. This is a matchup with the Rams where I feel like they will be able to keep their running game intact. Last week, they just weren't able to keep their running game intact. The game got away from them. I don't think that happens this week. And as a result, at 14.5, I am in. Maybe he squeaks by at 50. Maybe he squeaks by at 16. Maybe he gets to where the Blitz thinks he will be at 17. But either way, Blender, at 14.5, I still think I think this is the right spot for an over here. Once again, I like the Rams offense, but I still think this is a week where Seattle will be able to keep their running game intact. And if so, Walker should go over here. If he's sitting at 8 to 10 rushing attempts in the first half, then I'm going to be feeling really good if this game is tight. So really like him.
Right. The Blitz has him at 17.3 as a mean. And I mean, yeah, I know you said the box score. If you look at the past box score, it doesn't look that good. But the Seahawks haven't been in positions where they could necessarily run the ball more.
Correct.
And Metcalf being back actually helps Walker.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Metcalf
absolutely
helps Walker. And also, it's not like he's ceding these rushing attempts to Charbonnet.
Exactly.
It's
not like
he's just getting more receptions.
Like Bijan and Algier.
He's getting the same amount of touches. It's just they happen to be like all of a sudden he's getting 7 targets. It's like, well, they need to pass the ball. But if they didn't need to pass the ball, those 7 targets would turn into 7 rushing. They'd still give him the ball. It just wouldn't be a 4-yard swing pass. It would be an actual, it would be an actual rushing attempt.
Exactly. Yep, I love it.
Okay, I'm down with that. That's a 37.3% edge according to the Blitz. One of the highest ones on Prize Picks as of now. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need one more to get a 6 pick in here.
Okay.
And then we have a nice mix of passing, receiving, rushing, anything else. And then we'll talk about tonight. There may be one on the board that I think people should take tonight.
Yeah, so this one, and I do have one that I like tonight also, but we can kind of cover that when we get there. This one is kind of the other side of a game that we've talked about. Now, listen, we could be wrong here, Blender, and I get it, but like the Dallas Cowboys are just I don't think I think they're going to be behind in this Atlanta game again. And once again, I feel like Dak Prescott is just going to have to spray this ball all over the field. Now, he's got one of the highest props on the board already, Blender. Like, this is already high. But, man, the projections tend to suggest that he is going to be, really spraying this thing all over the field. So, as a result, I know we haven't really run this. We haven't really run this one a lot, Blender. We haven't run this one a lot. But in terms of pass attempts, and we could go yards too, I get it. But, man, we're getting such a wide gap on these pass attempts at 37.5. I'm going more than that projection. Maybe I'm wrong, but Dallas has been behind in every game that pretty almost this season, which is why they have a losing record. Dak continues to have to just throw the ball at an unreal clip because their running game also sucks, Blender. And they're going to Atlanta where Kirk Cousins may get out ahead of them pretty quickly. So I like it's high. Don't get me wrong. But
I prefer that. Will, I prefer the pass completions personally. You want me to explain
that's
why?
Fine. That's no problem. Yeah, we're getting the push potential. Okay,
so the pass completions, 25 pass completions. The Blitz has him at 28.9, which is a 38.2% edge, which is one of the higher ones on the board. I'm not against the pass attempts either, but you have to realize, here's Will, you'll be proud of me. I have an I know ball take. The Falcons have one of the worst pass rushes in the entire league, right?
Yes.
They don't put that much pressure on quarterbacks. And if Dak has time, he's got weapons. He's got CeeDee Lamb. He's got Jake Ferguson. Obviously, you got like Tolbert and Turpin and everything. And obviously running backs out of the backfield. I just think that even if they're playing from behind, he's much more likely to actually be productive against the Falcons because he's probably going to have 3-4 seconds in the pocket for most of these throws. So I think he's much more likely they could lose and he could still have an efficient. Maybe he throws 34 times, but he completes 26 of them. And we make it up on pass completions rather than the pass attempts. I don't know. I just think I think it's much more likely that he completes Who knows how many passes he attempts, but I don't think they're running the ball. I just don't think the Cowboys are going to. The Cowboys' backfield is awful.
Yeah.
Like last week, I think maybe I'm wrong. I think that Rico Dowdle was, quote, sick. Just so because it would be embarrassing to have Zeke be a healthy scratch. So Dowdle just got sick. And they gave like Hunter Lepke carries. This backfield is awful.
Yeah. And what I'm trying to figure out is who did Cook like make mad in the NFL for him to not have an actual job? Because last time I checked, Dalvin Cook was 1,000-yard rusher, and then people feel like he just fell off a cliff. Like he's sitting there in Dallas, and I don't know what happened to him, man. It's like he's been blackballed or something.
I have no idea. They're running back, so like, what else?
Yeah.
Okay. We need one more because we got 5. Right? We could do a 5 pick. We could just put these 5 in. But I don't know if you got another one.
Listen, I've always got some blenders. Just I tell you what, why don't we plug one in from tonight that I really like?
Okay, yeah, that's you're right, because I always want to give one out from tonight. Because I have one from tonight. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. What's yours? What's yours? It might be the same.
Is it Braylon Allen?
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay, so what's yours?
Mine is Tank Dell more than 4.5 receptions.
Okay, so what's your take? What's your take on this?
Well, I don't think the projections aren't agreeing wholeheartedly, but my take is there's no Stephon Diggs, there's no Nico Collins. I mean, clearly he's going to be the number one receiver. Now, and listen, I know some of his targets are a little bit further downfield from time to time, but I mean, if you're going to get volume, I mean, I even like more than 7 targets. So I think as a number one guy, we should expect him to catch 5 or 6 passes here over the course of 4 quarters. So that's really what my read is.
I'd rather take the targets over the receptions.
Sure. And Blender, and I know people keep hearing me say split today, but literally, this is kind of how I do it, because on when I'm splitting, that means I'm going to run the same card, but I'll take receptions in this one, yards in this one, or something like that.
Right.
Because it's football. Sometimes the guy catches a 70-yard touchdown pass and ends with 4 catches, i.e. A.J. Brown last week. I took receptions. He finished at 5. If you took yards, I think you cleared it. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes you have to play the game. But guess what? If I play, a $100 card here and I get $200, and then I get $2,500 on this one, I still come out okay. Like or Blender, if I get 4x back on this card, but I get $2,500 on this card, like it's like playing a GPP. I'm fine. So. I do think running splits on certain players is advantageous, especially when the projections are good across the board.
Right. And my one for tonight is Braylon Allen, more than 20.5 rushing yards. The blitz has him at 34. We saw the last game that Braylon Allen became a thing again. He was in the first couple of games. Then they kind of, handed Breece Hall the keys to the backfield. They go on by, they come back, and Braylon Allen's back. And Braylon Allen is a good running back.
Mm-hmm.
I think, you could try his rushing attempt. I like the rushing attempts one also, the more than 6. The blitz has him at 7.9. But it's quite possible that the Jets go down in this game, and maybe Braylon Allen only has 5 rush attempts. I'd much rather bet on the fact that maybe one of those rush attempts are for 14, 15 yards, right? So I think the yardage one is actually a little bit lower variance than the rush attempts one, even though typically you'd think the opposite. Just like, when
it's that low though, Blender, he hits 1 for 12, and you're getting real close,
Right. Right.
So yeah, I totally get it. Totally get it.
Right. And we can't put this in. We either have to choose between the Dell 7 receiving targets or or we can put these together. What we could do is that I'll use the Tank Dell one here. So I'll put in my $25 one right here. And we could do a little card just for tonight. Right?
Okay.
Just for the people. Doesn't have to be 6. It doesn't have to be 6. Let's see if this actually goes through on Chrome, because sometimes it's okay. There we go. So let's put the Tank Dell one with the receiving targets back to board. Okay, let's go back with the Dell receiving targets. More, but the Braylon Allen one here, as that types in, it's Braylon Allen. Is there anything else for tonight?
The projections aren't going to agree, but I just keep taking Kyrie Fairbairn kicking points because D'Amico Ryans does not mind kicking field goals to win. And so if things hold true, Blender, Houston's been able to move the ball on everyone. They just can't score touchdowns every time they get inside the 20. And Kyrie Fairbairn will be kicking field goals tonight. I can assure you.
So what are we going to take? 8.5 fantasy score or 7.5 kicking points?
I'm taking kicking points just because, you know, I think he kicks well. Now that I'm thinking about it, let's just go fantasy points. And I know it sounds
Right,
crazy, but he kicks
yeah,
a
the
40-yarder.
40-yard field goal, 50-yard field goal, count for more.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, let's go fantasy points. And I'm not taking field goals because you're getting a reduced payout. That's the main thing there. Like he kicks so many that now they've reduced the payout on him. So you know it's gonna do that. Something else that I did like that I am playing tonight, Blender. This is marginal, okay? So don't. It's Mike Williams less than 22.5 receiving yards.
Even though Lazard is out. But I think Aaron Rodgers completely hates Mike Williams.
Yeah. I get it. It's just, man, he's just getting no action in this offense right now. I mean, Tyler Conklin's getting more action than he is, which should tell you all you need to know.
Okay, so there we go. Do my lineup. I think it went in. It didn't.
That's what I'm saying, Blender. I remember I told you it's acted up. It's in, but it's not showing up yet.
Showing up here, okay, because my balance is lower. Okay, so at least it went in. Because the first one we did with all the 6 ones, I'm like, why doesn't it show anything? And apparently that's what's happening to you also. So it is in. I mean, they took $50 from me, so it's in, right?
Yeah.
We can't show it back the way it was. It's missing or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, they got that new UI interface. I mean, that new UI is probably still updating and fixing bugs, and so this happens every time they do a switch. I'm sure it'll fix itself, you know, before the day is out.
I'm sure I can bring it up in the app anyway, right?
I hope so.
You hope so. Okay.
but it's in. Yeah, it's in.
Okay. Well, what else you got going on this week for NFL or NBA? I mean, NBA's back.
Yeah, so I'll be on the Blitz this week. It's my wedding anniversary, so I won't be around this weekend like on any shows. Me and my wife will be out of town, and then you know, I guess so let me make this clear, everyone.
So when people don't see it this weekend, it's not that you were let go.
Right. And I want to communicate that because I am not going to be around for during the week a little bit. So for those that don't know, I coach girls basketball, and I'm not the head coach, I'm the assistant coach, but the head coach is going to be out for a little bit. And by out, Blender, I don't know how long. So temporarily, I'm not going to be able to take any midweek, any weekday shows because I have to resume the
at night. I mean, you'll be with me on Wednesday mornings, but I mean, it's more of the nights.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like I won't be here at all during the day.
Okay.
I'll right. But I
won't see you for like a month or I won't even see you.
Yeah, let's hope it's a month or less. But I had to tell them that because I was like, I don't quite know how long he's going to be out. And so Blender, the thing is I coach basketball at a public school. So I have to be when I'm resuming the responsibilities now, I've got to be at the school during the day. And I've got to be there for practice.
What are you going to do with that? But you're not a teacher. So what are you going to do at the school during the day?
I'll be in the coach's office reviewing film. So here's how it works, Blender. Believe it or not. The
they're going to pay you as a teacher. They're going to pay you as a teacher to basically sit around and do nothing all day.
No, not as a teacher. They're going to pay.
You're going to pay, but you have to be. I mean, it's one of those times where you can't be the head coach without being an employee. Like the assistant coaches could be parents and whatever.
Right.
But the head coach has to be someone that actually is employed by.
I've got to be there. Yeah, I've got a badge and everything, and it's one of those deals. So I'll be in the office.
You're gonna be in the coach's office putting together your DFS lineups and your pick'em cards. So you can say that
as much as I can. Yeah, that's pretty much how
you're reviewing film. You're reviewing film. The film review looks shortly like the Underdog app.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I will
why
be in huddle. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I'll be in huddle. Listen, I love coaching just as much as I love DFS, but so I don't want anybody to think I'm disappeared. Like, so hopefully I can keep all my weekend NFL stuff. But I haven't talked to them about this, but I may not be on the blitz as a result. So I'm not sure. We'll get that sorted out. But
well, if you're not on the blitz, it's most likely going to be me on the blitz show.
Correct. So, but I did want to kind of express that to everybody. I know we don't have like a million viewers right now, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm still here. It's just a minor change for a little minute until the head coach is back. But yeah, man. So that's what I'll be doing here. For the past few weeks, and hopefully I can keep my NFL show because I have been enjoying Crunch Time and leading up until lock, hanging out with Christy Metzger. That's been good. So yeah, there you have it.
Well, we still got the Sunday block. Tomorrow, I will be on with Bobby Gomes. We're talking about GPP strategy for the NFL Week 9 slate on DraftKings. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out the door. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell to know when we go live. We got Crunch Time later tonight for NBA on Halloween, and we still got most of the content that you usually see here on the YouTube channel. I'm here, right? You got the Sunday block 9:30. We got tournament takes on Friday, Saturday. We got tons of stuff. Premium content. Become a Combo Premium member. You get all of our stuff. Lineup HQ, Sim Labs. All of our tools, our IQ tools, our premium written content, our consensus value rankings, all the statistical projections, the prop and pick'em tool, everything. Click on that link in the description. Get $40 off your first month. But I will see you tomorrow because I'm here for you. Weekdays, 11 o'clock Eastern, talking about all things you're thinking about in daily fantasy, props and pick'em on RotoGrinders Today.